Hello everyone. Today we are going to know about an instrument that is digital multimeter. First of all, we know what is digital multimeter. Actually, a digital multimeter is a versatile electronic device used to measure various electrical properties including voltage, current and resistance. The device displays the measurements on a digital screen, making it easy to read and understand the results accurately. Here you see that this is our digital multimeter. With this digital multimeter, you can see here that there is a knob here. Here you can see this is the knob, right? We can rotate this knob 360 degree and put it in voltage section, in current section, in resistance section, or this is the test of continuity test, and this is a square wave, and this is beta value of a transistor. And here you can see that there are two probes. What we call these are known as probe. The red one is the positive probe and the black one, this is the positive probe and the black one is the negative probe. With this probe or with this instrument we can measure this is our DC voltage. This is our, we can measure with this section AC voltage, we can measure in this section the DC voltage. Here you can see that here we can measure the AC current, right? And here you see we can measure the resistance here. Not only that, you can see that there is a continuity test in this section. Continuity test, this is continuity test and this is square wave, and from HFE we can find the beta value of a transistor. Now how this digital multimeter works, that is important for us. You see here, this black probe is connected with common, right? And this red probe is connected with either this probe or this point, right? Here you can see, if we put it here, right, or if we put this red here, we can measure the current up to 10 ampere, right? Here you see this is 10 ampere, but for 2000 microampere to 200 milliampere we can measure in this section. Then we have to put this probe in this section, right? Whenever we measure current for 10 ampere, then you have to put this probe in this section. Now here you see what we can measure and the various electrical properties. First of all, see here that this one, you see here this one, this is AC voltage. You see the symbol of AC here, this is the symbol of AC and this is the symbol of DC voltage. In AC voltage you can see here it is given that you can measure up to 750 volt, right? Here you see in this section you can see here this is 200 volt and you can measure up to 750 volt in this AC voltage. Now here you can see also this is the DC voltage, right? Here you can also see that you can measure up to 1000 volt, and range you can see here this is 200 millivolt, 2000 millivolt, this is 20 volt, this is 200 volt and this is 1000 volt. That means you measure in this section up to 1000 volt, right? Now here you can see here in this section, this is the section of resistance section, right? Resistance, here you can see that this is the point of 200 ohm. Below 200 ohm we have to put this knob here, right? And above this you can put it up to 2000 ohm. This is 20k ohm, this is 200k ohm, and this is 2000k ohm, right? And in this section you can find the continuity of any wire or any circuit, right? Here you can see the properties of square wave and HFE, that is here you can find the beta value of a transistor. Here you can see here that there are two types of transistors, NPN transistors and PNP transistors. These are the various electrical properties you can measure with a digital multimeter. Today I am going to show you how to measure the various resistance and how to measure voltage, right? After that, in the next video we will show you how to measure the current, right? Now, before we know how to measure the resistance or voltage or current, first of all we have to know that what are the units of these types. Voltage means potential, right? Potential with difference, right? And current, the unit of current is ampere, the unit of resistance is ohm, right? Now you see how to measure the resistance or how to measure the voltage, we will show you here. Here you can see that there are various types of resistance we have taken. Here you see these are the various types of resistances we have taken, and I will show you how to measure the various types of resistance. Here you see these are also resistances. You see here these are various types of resistance, and we will show you how to measure the resistances, right? Here you see these are the various types of resistance, and I will show you how to measure the resistance. You can see here for checking the resistance, you can see here these are the various, this is the sections of resistance. Here you see this knob, right? This is 200. You can see here very clearly this is 200 ohm, this is 2000 ohm, 20k, 200k and 2000k. If 2000k, right? This is the resistance. For measuring the resistance below 200, you have to put this knob up here 200. Here see 200, right? And here you can see that the value is given as 1. Now I check the various resistances. You see here, and we'll see what is the reading in that case. You see here, first of all we'll check the resistance of this one. See here, for checking the resistance, what you have to do, this negative probe and positive probe should be touched with these two terminals. Suppose this one, right, and this one, right, and you can see the resistance is shown in the digital section, this in the screen of digital multimeter. You can see it here. Here you see we are measuring this resistance. It is given as nearly 10.9 ohm, right? 10.9 ohm, right? Here if we see that it is also given at it as 10 ohm, right? That means the value of this resistance is here you see, if you measure this one, we are getting 11 point. It is fluctuating. Let us see once again what is the value of this resistance. The value of this resistance is given that the value of this resistance is 10.8 or 10.9 ohm, right? The value of this resistance is 10.9 ohm. Now we will measure the other resistances also. Here you see we can measure this one also, this resistance, and let us see what is the value of this resistance. You have to touch this probe with the end of this resistance. You see here. Now you can see here the resistance. The value of this resistance is 19.6 ohm. If we change the probe, you will get the nearly same result. Here you see, if we change the probe, we are getting also 19.7 ohm, right? The result is same, right? That means this resistance is in okay condition. Now if you want to measure this resistance, let us check what is the resistance of this value of resistance of this resistance. If we put it here, and you can see it here that the value of this resistance is 20.3 ohm. If we interchange this probe, and you get the same value for resistance. You see here, we are interchanging and we are trying to find, that is nearly it is 20.3 ohm, right? Now this is the value of 20.3 ohm resistances. Now if you measure this resistance, you will find that what is the value of this resistance. For that, you just take this one and check it whether what is the value of this resistance. If you find that the value of this resistance is 28 point, here you see, here you can find that the value of this resistance is 28.2 ohm. If you interchange the probe, you will also get the same value, nearly same value with this resistance. Let us find what is the value of this resistance. You can find that the value of this resistance is 28.4 ohm, right? Whenever we interchange the probe, you are also getting the same result. That means these resistance are in okay condition, right? These are the various resistance. We have to, I have shown you how to measure the value of resistance. Here you can see that there are two resistance also. Let us check what is the value of these two resistances, right? Let us check. If we touch this terminal, and you see the value on the screen of the digital multimeter. You see here the value of this resistance is 5.6 ohm. If we interchange this probe, right, and find the value and touch it, the two terminal will get the same value, that is 5.6 ohm, right? If we want to find the other resistance, here you see this one, and if you touch it and touch the probe, and you will find that the value of this resistance is also 5.6 ohm. If you interchange the probe, you will also get the same value for resistance. Here you see the value for this resistance is 5.6 ohm, right? Here we know that the unit of resistance is ohm, right? Now we will measure the voltage, DC voltage. You can also measure the AC voltage also. I will show you how to measure the AC voltage and DC voltage. We have shown you how to measure the resistance, right? Now I will show you how to measure the voltage. Here you can see that there are various cells here. We will measure the voltage of these DC voltage of these cells, right? For that, what if you take, we already told you that this is a positive probe and the black one is the negative probe. Here you see here, this is a button cell, right? Here you can see that it is written here as positive. Here you see this is positive and this is negative point, right? What if you take, you have to touch the positive probe with the positive terminal of the cell and negative the negative terminal of the cell, only then you will get the voltage, right? You see, for that voltage you have to take this probe, take this pointer to, suppose we are taking this pointer to 20 volt. Here you see 20 volt, right? Now we'll see, we'll measure the voltage of these cells, right? For example, if this is the button cell, and if you want to measure the voltage of this cell, you have to touch the positive with the positive terminal of the cell and the negative probe with the negative terminal of the cell, and you will get, here you see, that is 0.86 volt. The value of this is 0. If we change the probe, then you will see that we will get a minus sign. You see here, minus 0.79 volt, because we have changed the terminal, right? Let us once again see what is the value for this cell, right? Let us, for that you have to touch the positive terminal with the positive terminal of the cell and negative probe with the negative terminal of the cell, and you get the value, right? Here you see the voltage of this cell is 1.39 volt, 1.39 volt, right? If you interchange this terminal, you will get a negative sign, and you see here the value is minus 1.38 volt, right? If you change the terminal, you will get a negative sign. Here you see, if you put the positive terminal, positive probe with the positive terminal of the cell and negative probe with the negative terminal of the cell, you will get a voltage of 1.49 volt, right? If you interchange the probe, right, let us see, and you get a negative sign, and you get a value of minus 1.48 volt for this cell, right? This is the way in which you can measure the voltage or DC voltage. Here you see there is a cell here. You can also see here, this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal, right? Let us see what is the voltage of this cell. You have to touch the positive probe with the positive terminal of the cell and negative probe with the negative terminal of the cell, then you will get a value, that is, it is here, you can see that it is 0.36 volt, 0.36 volt. That means it is 0.36 volt, right? Here you can see there is another cell, and here you can also measure. This is the positive terminal. Positive probe will be connected with the positive terminal of the cell, and negative probe will be connected to the negative terminal of the cell, and we get a value that is 0.8, 0.60, 0.60 volt. If you change the probe, you will get a negative value, right? Here you can see you get a negative value, that is minus 0.55 volt, right? Here you can see, in this way you can measure the voltage of cell, right? Here also we are measuring this voltage of this cell, and you will get a value of, you see here, you will get a value of 0.02 volt. Here you can see there is another cell, and you can measure the cell, and let us find what is the value of this cell. You can get here 0.11 volt, right? You will find that in this way you can measure the DC voltage. Now I will measure some other cells with this digital multimeter. Let us measure the voltage of these cells with this digital multimeter. Here you see, if you want to measure the voltage of this cell, you have to touch the negative probe with the negative terminal of the cell and the positive probe with the positive terminal of the cell, and you will get a value that is 0.17 volt, right? And if we measure the voltage of this cell, then we are measuring the result of this voltage, this cell, and you are getting 1.43 volt, right? If you want to measure this voltage of this cell, then you are getting, let us find what is the value. That is, you have to touch the positive probe with the positive terminal of the cell and negative probe with the negative terminal of the cell, and you will get a value of 4.83 volt, right? Now if you want to measure these two cells connected in series, then let us find what is the value or voltage of this cell. Here you see, you have to touch the positive terminal, positive probe with the positive terminal of the cell, and negative probe with the negative terminal of the cell, and you will get the value. You can see here the value is 0.01 volt, right? The value of this is 0.01 volt. You measure this voltage of this cell, and you are getting a value of, let us see, the value of this cell is 4.80 or 78 volt, right? In this way you can measure the various types of voltage of various DC voltage, or you can measure the voltage of cells. We have shown you in this video how to measure the resistance and how to measure the DC voltage of various cells. Now I am trying to show you how to measure the AC voltage. You can see here you have to be very careful to measure the AC voltage, right? Because in AC the voltage is very high, nearly about 220 to 240 volt. That's why you have to be very careful to measure the AC voltage, right? Now I will show you how to measure the AC voltage. Here you can see, let us see how we are measuring the AC voltage, right? Now we are measuring the AC voltage, and you can see here, for that you have to take this pointer and put it on the 750 volt, right? Here you have put it on the 750 volt, and this is 200 volt. Now I will show you how to measure the AC voltage, right? But you have to remember that if you are not expert in this subject, don't try to measure AC voltage at home, right? Now I will show you how to measure AC voltage. Here you see, we are taking this multimeter, and you see this is our AC current, and I will show you how to measure the AC voltage with this probe. Here you can see the measurement, right? You see, and I will show you what is the value of AC voltage, right? We are measuring the AC voltage here. Here you see, we are connecting the two probe in this, and you show what is the voltage. Here you can see the AC voltage at present is nearly 244 volt, right? It is 244 volt, right? Let us measure once again, and you can see that the voltage of this AC is nearly 244 volt. In this way you have to measure the voltage, right? Now you have seen how to measure the resistance and DC voltage, and also we have shown you how to measure the AC voltage. Dear friends, in the next video I will show you how to measure the current, and you can see also how to find the continuity function, and also there are how to measure the HFE or beta value of NP and PNP junction in our next video, right? And for measuring current, we will show you how to measure the current. Today we have discussed how to find the value of resistance and how to find the value of DC voltage and AC voltage. Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you everybody for watching this video.